Hey everybody, this is David with IsoHorns, and today I want to talk about RF Elements copying IsoHorns wideband patented technology. About 2 months ago, a WISP did a test and found that IsoHorns wideband outperformed RF Elements narrowband 6 gigahertz antennas by about 15%. And nobody expected this because this was RF Element's latest 6 gigahertz antenna. And everybody thought that RF Elements makes high performance antennas and that RF Elements was going to be able to match IsoHorns in terms of performance. IsoHorns had already beaten RF Elements with their 5 gigahertz antennas, and people expected RF Elements to catch up with their new 6 gigahertz product line. But that didn't happen. IsoHorns beat RF Elements' new antennas, just like we beat their old antennas. And this 15% improvement in subscriber download speeds, as measured by Ookla, was consistent with the performance improvement in 5 gigahertz. And this was just replacing one side of the link. So this was just replacing the subscriber antenna, not replacing or upgrading the access point antenna, which would also result in faster speeds. So just replacing one side of the link got a 15% improvement in performance. In response to this, RF Element sent this WISP this product here, the TPA SMA 56WB. And I responded immediately that this is IsoHorns patented technology. You can see here, this is the other side of that twist port adapter. This is what it looks like. And this is a near exact replica of this, which is IsoHorns patented technology. We invented this about 2 years ago. And they even copied these little pins in the middle that you can barely see. But what's remarkable about the reason why I wanted to get in front of this loudly and directly and right away is because I wanted to prevent it from becoming a bigger issue. I didn't want RF Elements to rob IsoHorns sales and then be able to defend themselves with their ill-gotten gains. So I didn't want them to basically steal our money and then use it to pay for lawyers to defend themselves in a patent dispute. I also didn't want RF Elements to trick Streakwave and ISP Supplies into carrying a product that was patent infringing. So it was important for me to let them know publicly that this is an IsoHorns technology which is patented. And I didn't want them to unknowingly participate in RF Elements patent infringement. And then also, memories change. So although it's RF Elements copying IsoHorns, I didn't want people to remember that RF Elements brought wideband technology to the WISP industry and that IsoHorns copied RF Elements, which has been a problem. Ever since we started, there's been a problem with RF Elements doing bad things, but people remember it as IsoHorns doing the bad things. An example of this is when we posted our very first social media post in a Facebook group. 2 out of 3 RF Elements partners commented negatively on our post. Here, show me the horn that looked like RF Elements' asymmetrical horn before RF Elements. Here, you will never find a horn that looks like ours before us. Now they all look like ours. What's really nasty about these comments is that they're implying that IsoHorns is copying them, which we're not. You can see here that our horn looks nothing like their horn. This is a wideband, 6 gigahertz high performance horn. This is a narrowband, 5 gigahertz low performance mass market antenna. IsoHorns was the first to introduce 6 gigahertz. We were the first to introduce wideband, and we were the first to introduce true high performance antennas to the WISP industry. And we did that all at the same time with the same product. And so for RF Elements to unfairly accuse us of copying them, well, it was just super unfair. And IsoHorns has never gone on to RF Elements product announcements and left negative comments on their product announcements. However, if you were to ask people who's professional and who's unprofessional, most people would say, well, RF Elements are the professionals and IsoHorns are unprofessional. When in fact, all we do is call out their bad behavior like this. So similarly, this is an RF Elements former digital marketing manager, and he left negative comments accusing us of copying RF Elements on every single one of our paid Facebook ads. If you want to rip somebody off, why horn antennas? If you're going to steal someone else's IP, you should do a better job. IsoHorns, what a lame copycat name. Everyone knows who you are ripping off. Again, accusing us falsely of copying RF Elements, which we did not. And again, if you ask people who's professional, who's unprofessional, people would think that RF Elements is professional and IsoHorns is unprofessional, which is not how it went down. Similarly, RF Elements has always claimed to be first. So they've always claimed that they were the first to do this, the first to do that. Here in October 2023, they claimed to have the first complete offering of 30, 45, 60, 90 degree, 6 gigahertz wideband asymmetrical horns. It's 2025 now, and they still don't have a complete offering of 6 gigahertz wideband asymmetrical horns. The only horn antenna that's for sale right now is this 90 degree. They still haven't introduced 30, 45, or 60 degree. They claim that 45 and 60 are on the way. IsoHorns at the time had already introduced 30, 60, and 90 degree working prototypes, and we had already sold the 90 and the 30. So we are not going to sell the 60 because there's no point. There's no point in having this many horn antennas. The 30 and the 90 are going to be sufficient. But importantly, RF Elements claims to be first. People might think that they're first. Many people remember them as being first. But they weren't first. They're still not first. They still haven't done what they claimed to do in 2023, 2 years ago. So in summary, it was really important for IsoHorns to be direct, be immediate, and be loud to prevent RF Elements patent infringement from becoming a bigger problem and then having to chase them for damages. I wanted to get in front of the issue and prevent it from becoming a bigger problem. And memories change, and it was also important to be direct and immediate for that reason as well. Thanks for watching.